chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, Jim Jordan. Jim, I read the letter, or Congressman, I read the letter.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be so informal. And
no, you're fine.
Do you believe that the daughter of Judge Merchan was making money off the trial while this was happening, number one? And number two, based on the Supreme Court ruling, correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding is they introduced evidence at this trial from Donald Trump's time as president. Yeah. That would seem to indicate that the judge needs to vacate this verdict, and I guess, the DA would have to start over again.
Well, I think, first of all, this judge was definitely conflicted. There's a problem. We had people testify in front of our committee a few weeks ago, said there's a total conflict, but he got some liberal Democrats in New York to say no, it was okay. We want to get the communications and the contracts that his daughter had with the Harris campaign. By the way, she was paid like $7 million from the Harris campaign. Then she got like $2 million. Her company, Authentic Campaigns, name of her company, got $2 million from the Biden-Harris campaign as well. And she did tons of work for Democrats. Many times she was using the fact that President Trump was under indictment to help raise money for these Democrats and help their campaign effort. So we want the communications. We want the contract. We're going to see. We think it was wrong for the judge not to recuse himself. Lots of experts think it was wrong for him not to do so. We want to see what the evidence shows. That's why we've asked for these communications.
Let me go. To me, this should be a slam dunk. It's going to be very interesting when the sentencing phase of that trial comes into play, which had been delayed because of the Supreme Court decision. But this judge really has not shown fidelity to the law, process, Constitution. Should have recused himself, in my view, based on the fact that he himself was a Biden donor. The judge knew the statute of limitations in New York had run out. A novel legal theory, 8 years later, upgrading, what is a misdemeanor in New York to federal felony counts. I mean, the whole thing has been absurd.
Yeah, he never should have presided over this trial. First, it never should have happened. The case was ridiculous, but he should have never presided. But then when he did, remember what he allowed to happen. First, he put a gag order on President Trump. Then he wouldn't let Brad Smith, the expert on campaign finance, he wouldn't even let him testify to the campaign finance issue that wasn't, that the federal district of New York chose not to bring an indictment on, that the Department of Justice chose not to indict on, that the Federal Elections Commission chose not to move forward on. He wouldn't even let Brad Smith talk about that. Now, we did. We let Brad Smith come into our committee and share what he would have shared to the court. He shared with Congress and the country. But this is how bad this judge is. And then you add to this conflict issue and what his daughter's company was doing. Again, that's why we want the information.
All right, Jim Jordan will follow this story and both stories. We appreciate your time.